Hello and welcome to my channel. It is January 12th, 2021. And I figured with MLK being Monday, I'm going to keep this a little light of politics. I just wanted to talk. Martin Luther King Jr. was a person that we should strive, at least his message. He had a really powerful message to judge each other by his merits, not by the color of their skin or gender or whatever you want to call it. But before I do, I gotta do some house cleaning. And that is to go through some comments on my past videos. I think on Kenosha makes no sense. I asked a question about how would you reform the police. Nani, but I really like Nani, to be honest. I'm actually in the Discord server with her. She's definitely fun to talk with. But she says, I think police should not have special privileges for being officers. What I mean is there is an exception they tend to get beyond a citizen. That's unjust. How many officers get a slap on the hand for murder or crimes themselves committed? I agree to an extent. I think the police have a great power that they wield, which comes with great responsibility and great repercussions when they break the law. I think that we should relax some of the rules that they have, but when they extremely mess up, the consequences of them messing up is severe. Now, for DC Block Party, which was going over the Capitol siege, I think her question is, wait a minute, I thought you thought differently. Yes, I'm actually against violence and riots in general. My emotions were kind of high when I probably read that, where I said I applaud the people storming the Capitol. I still stand by that. I mean, I don't agree with their tactics, excuse me, which I said shortly after that. I'm just glad that the government is finally realizing the true power of the people, and that's a powerful message. Now, I wish that it was more peaceful, just because I don't think violence is the answer for most things. Next one is on Democrats are so losers. Right, they want a peaceful transition, and here we are. And then, of course, the follow up one is, yep, that's exactly how AOC sounds. And then, of course, my letter for Dear Joe Biden, which is now President elect President, or President elect Biden. I was asking him to calm the waters down, maybe pardon a couple of people that stormed the Capitol in good faith, and just not have this heavy handed rhetoric, especially calling the people that were going to object to his Congress vote traitorous and being fascists and calling them globals. That's not the rhetoric that we need to hear by an incoming president, especially with emotions so high. And of course, boo, president elect, which I totally agree. Of course, for the Order 66 happened last night when the President Trump was purged from most social media sites, making it almost impossible for the clones to disobey the command and turn against the Jedi generals. I see this as cancel culture. Yes, one could definitely make an argument, the similarities there. Now, this one wasn't from my one of my videos, and this is a topic for you: political, how to preserve our freedoms and what to do if we can't. That's a heavy question. I think we definitely need to get our voices heard. We definitely need to organize on a single message and focus on our personal morals, our personal standing, kind of know ourselves. Oh, yeah, that was Spiniard Martinez. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a topic that I really have to think about. The simple answer is to do the normal lip services. We must organize under a common goal and to make sure that goal is heard through any means necessary minus violence. That means organizing through your neighborhood and your city, real grassroots efforts under a single idea of what needs to take place. Um, and of course, you do marches and protests and have organized events to get that message through. And of course, find candidates that would actually fight for the people, regardless of party. But that's only just lip service. That's like anybody that could say on a YouTube channel or through comments of what, just from an overhead and very broad. I think that definitely would require an entire video, maybe a total of 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, that's a really important question that I think a lot of people really need to ask and really need to come up with a plan and actually follow through. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, Martin Luther King Day is coming up on Monday. He was very influential within our history through the civil rights movement. And he actually got a lot of laws passed or laws stripped to make a more fair playing ground. And even to this day, the impact that he had on our culture is still have a big impact. So yeah, I just wanted to chat, just kind of just have a little light video because it seems like there's a whole lot of things going on. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be making a video on Monday. I haven't decided if I'm going to go out of my property. Unfortunately, my property videos are kind of put on hold due to weather because I'm crazy when it comes to camping in cold weather. Now, when I'm talking about cold weather, I'm talking about 42, 43 as the low. I am not talking about in the 20s or the 30s at night where I'm just shivering, waking up every couple hours. That is actually not fun for me. So that's why you haven't really seen those videos every other week or every week, because I'm not that insane to go camping when it's that cold, and I don't like being uncomfortable. Anyways, well, what are your thoughts of things are going on and some of the other topics that I may discuss down the future? I mean, I'm always open to the topics, and definitely I need to look into politically how to preserve our freedoms and what to do if we can't. I mean, the simple answer is once all of our avenues have played out, not in our favor, is to secede from the Union or a revolution, which I don't think we're there yet. Like I said, I'm kind of getting some thoughts out of my mind. I think we're really hitting close to that tipping point of beyond of no return. But I also think that we still are at a point where we could dial down the rhetoric, and that's going to require all of us to talk to our congressmen and presidents and governors and state representatives, city representatives, mayors, city councils, to really plead with them to stop some of the rhetoric that's spewing. And I think that will also go a long ways for being political, how to preserve our freedoms, is that right now is the time now to really dial back the rhetoric and just respecting others as decent human beings. I cannot stress that as much as possible. We just had a nasty election. The one before that was pretty nasty, but not to this degree. This degree was amped up, and I think COVID lockdowns had a lot to do with it because, when people are working, I'm just like some rambling, and I acknowledge I'm rambling, but I have a point. So I think this year or last year was really hard for Americans just because the COVID lockdowns really took away a lot of people's purposes, and they were glued to the television. They really got involved in politics, which is excellent. You should get involved in politics, whether or not I agree with your stance or not. But more people involved in politics is great. The issue is that's all we did was get into politics. We looked at every story. We dissected every press conference. We dissected everything that our government was doing, and we're not happy. We're not being heard. That in itself is an issue. On top of that, you have your Foxes, your NBCs, your CNNs, your MSBCs. You have your YouTube commentators like myself spouting their 2 cents, whether or not it's worth a damn or not, spreading an opinion, spreading a narrative. And I try to be neutral. I mean, I'm not going to be a fence sitter if I feel like rights are being taken away or certain politicians are being nasty. I'm definitely going to call them out. But at the same time, I think it's the same rhetoric that's driving a lot of this frustration in people, because when you look on the news and you say politician XYZ is such a bad person, he's worse than Hitler, yada 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 yada, and just kind of go and spew a narrative, and then people pick up on their narrative and they parrot that narrative, and they don't realize that they're parroting that narrative, and it fuels their emotions, and they don't have purpose because they're not working, and they don't know if they could buy dinner that night or pay a bill to keep the electricity going. There's all this uncertainty that goes with not having a purpose, which is also fueling a lot of this anger or frustration is probably the best way to describe it. And I think we need to look inwards at ourselves and realize that sometimes our emotions are getting the best of us. I think I admitted this in the comment section of another video. Someone spouted something, and I just got triggered because they were talking about getting the list of people, and I was like, that's a left-wing tactic. And I kind of went on this rant on several comments within that thread. And that was yesterday. And then today I actually responded up because the original poster posted and made a comment, like my comment came out of left field. And after reading it and after not having my emotions so heightened, I realized what I was doing. I went into that mindset. And I think if we could just take a pause and just look inwards, I think we'd be better off. I mean, that's just all. Like I said, this is just a rambling chat or waffling. Like I said, leave a comment down below if you have any topics that you want me to cover. No guarantees I'll do it justice, but I definitely give it a government job effort. And most importantly, regardless, focus on your mental health and have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.